Good morning, Mr. and friends. I'm Vincent from Sector 1. Today I'm gonna be presenting about my daily project for ICT, which is about networks and computers and the effects of using them. Let's start. What is a network? Network is two or more computers that are linked together so that they are able to share resources. Um, this means that if there is no network, then we won't be able to communicate with each other. Right. So these are the devices needed to build a network. You need at least six of these, which include routers, network interface cards, hubs, switches, bridges, and modems. I'm gonna be explaining to you one by one about what these devices are. So the first one is router. So each computer linked to the internet is given a number which is called its IP address, or you can say Internet Protocol address. And routers are hardware devices that read the address information to determine the final destination of the packet. Routers can be used to join several wired or wireless networks together as well. Now the network interface cards. There is three uses. First, it prepares the data for sending. Second, it sends the data. And third, it controls the flow of data from the computer to the transmission media. Now hubs. A hub is a simple device that doesn't manage any of the data traffic through it. A hub contains multiple ports. When a packet arrives at one port, it is transferred to the other port so that all network devices of the LAN can see all packets. While switches are used to join computers and other devices together in the network, but they work in a more intelligent way compared to hubs. They are able to inspect packets of data so that they are forwarded appropriately to the correct computer. Now, bridges. Bridges are used to connect LANs together. When one of the LANs sends a message, all the devices on the LAN receive the message. The advantage in subdividing a larger network is that it reduces the total network traffic as only traffic with a different LAN as its destination will cross over the bridge. A bridge, therefore, usually has only two ports in order to connect one LAN to another LAN. Now, modems. A modem converts the data from the computer into sound that can be sent along ordinary telephone lines. Once the data arrives at the other end of the line, the sound will need to be converted back to digital data using another modem before it can be understood by the receiving computer. Now, you, um, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are two main technology that allow wireless communication between computer and other devices. The explanation of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi enables computers and other devices to communicate wirelessly with each other. Areas of the internet can be accessed wirelessly using Wi-Fi are called access points or hotspots, and they can be found in public places like coffee bars, hotels, airports, and many more, etc. Now, explanation of Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a wireless technology used to exchange data over short distances. It makes use of radio waves. There are some uses of Bluetooth, such as wireless communication between input and output devices, communication between a wireless hands-free headset and a mobile phone, creating a small wireless network where the computers are near to each other and where the small bandwidth is not a problem. The advantage and disadvantages of wireless communication. So the advantages are you have a wireless signal so that you can work in hotels, you can work outside, in coffee shops, or etc. You are not confined to working in the same place. There are fewer trailing wires to trip over. It is easier to keep a working area clean, and there are no network wires, so there are no costs for their installation. So it's cheaper. The disadvantages are that there are danger of hackers reading your messages. There are areas where you cannot get a wireless network. There is evidence that it may be a danger to your health, and there's limited signal range. So now, how to set up a small network. To set up a small network is easy. The steps are: first, you need to choose an internet service provider, pay them a subscription charged, and get a router, often provided by the ISP. Second, you connect the router to the telephone line or cable point. Next, connect any cable devices to the router using wires between the ports on the router and the network interface card on the device. Fourth, connect any wireless device. And fifth, you'll need a browser on each device to access the internet. After all of that, now it's the web browser software. What is web browser software? A web browser is a program that allows web pages stored on the internet to be viewed. For example, like Google or any of those web browser software that allows information to be kept inside them so that people can read the information and view it. Access to the internet service provider. Most people connect to the internet via internet service provider. It's an organization that supplies the connection to the internet as well as providing services including storage in the server, email facilities, instant messages, access to online shopping, and access to news, sports, weather, and etc. Now we're talking about the internet. What is the internet? An internet is a huge group of worldwide networks joined together. Each of these networks consists of lots of smaller networks. When you connect to the internet, your computer becomes part of the largest network in the world. The advantages are huge amounts of info can be accessed almost anywhere, improves communication systems like WhatsApp and any of those applications. It changes in the way we shop, as there are lots of shopping applications now, and voice over internet protocol enables cheap international phone calls to be made using the internet rather than having to pay for calls using a mobile or landline telephone. And it can help with people with disabilities. Disadvantages are that there are misinformation, cybercrime, addiction to gambling, and increased problems due to hacking and viruses. E-commerce. E-commerce is the electronic buying or selling of products or services online using the internet. Advantages are lower cost for starting the business. Customers can place orders at any time and on any day. It's easier to deal with customers and suppliers internationally. It can standardize the ordering of stock with suppliers, and fewer employees are needed. Disadvantages are lack of personal touch when conducting business. Customers are sometimes suspicious. Security issues as the credit card details of customers should be used to commit fraud. The difference between internet and www. The internet is the huge network of networks that connects millions of computers globally and allows them to communicate. Whereas the World Wide Web is the way of accessing the information on all these network computers and makes use of web pages and web browsers to store and access the information. Intranets. An intranet is a private network that is used inside an organization and makes use of web pages, browsers, and other technology just like this. An extranet is a private network controlled by a company or organization that has restrictions so that it's accessible not only to its own staff, but only to its partners. Also, advantages are that it processes can be automated, enables the organization that owns the extranet to share information with other organizations it deals with, and it improves customer. Disadvantages are that they can be really expensive and there are security concerns. Malware, spyware, and adware. These are computer viruses. Malware is software that intentionally damages your computer, server, or network. Spyware is malware installed on your computer without your permission and knowledge to secretly collect information about your computer use. And adware is malware that hides on your devices and automatically displays its advertisements, such as banners or pop-ups when you're online. Viruses pose a major threat to networks. A virus is a program that replicates itself automatically and may cause damage to computers. Now, zero login. Zero login means you don't need to supply your normal login details such as user ID and password to access your device. Instead, Zero login technology uses an external authenticator such as a security key or a smartphone, like fingerprints or yeah. And the last one is encryption. Encryption scrambles the data while it's being sent, and only the true recipient is able to unscramble it. Should the data be intercepted by a hacker, then the data will be totally meaningless. So, yeah, that's it for my presentation. Thank you, Mr. and everyone, for listening to my presentation. Have a nice day and bye.